So this is the car that I get the most questions on, which is a Jaguar. A little bit of stuff done to it. So this is a 1999 Jaguar XJ8 short wheelbase. You can see it is clearly dirty, so it has been sitting for a very long time. It's realistically an $800 car. Bought it with a transmission slipping in it. Did some work to it under the hood over there, but sapphire blue metallic over, I believe, standard oatmeal interior. Added the wood steering wheel in there. I re-dyed the seats in here. One thing I have done in the back is I added the trays from the longer wheelbase version of the car, which unfortunately does take up a lot of space in the back here, more than you would expect. There's some parts that I need to do for the rear suspension in here. But I originally built this thing because, like I said, it's just an XJ8. It's $800. Transmission was slipping on it. So I pulled out the engine and the transmission because those are known issues here. Originally it had a aluminum 5.7 from a Camaro in there with a 4L60E. The 5.7 spun a bearing, so right now it has an LQ9 block with, unfortunately, the machine shop rebuilt the wrong heads, so it's got the perimeter bolt heads from the 98 LS1 that I had in there. I used a Jaguar Specialities kit, so some of the stuff in here is things provided with the kit. Does a standalone wiring harness. The reason it's been sitting for so long recently is because there's some wiring issues under there. Right now I have a permanent DTC code going on for the mass airflow sensor. So, actually no, I have a permanent DTC code going on for it running rich, which I think is what related to the wiring of the mass airflow sensor. But other than that, it's a fun car. You know, the nice thing is over here, plenty of room to work on the transmission. Second gear is also going out in this thing. But again, $800 car, so faded paint on the roof. It's really dirty. Missing the headliner for the sunroof up there. Headliner sagging down here. I went to go start it this year, and the fire or the fuel pump was bad on it, so I cut a hole in the parcel shelf up there, replaced the fuel pump. Because the normal way of doing it is you have to come in through here, remove this panel, go underneath the car, disconnect all of the fuel pumps from above the subframe, and then you have to pull the tank out and tilt it, and then you can take the tank out from the top. So a lot of people just cut a hole in that parcel shelf and then change the fuel pump that way. So again, since it was an $800 car, I really don't care about it. One thing I did upgrade here is the wheels. So these are from a 95 to 97 XJR. They're powder coated aluminum, which actually turns out surprisingly, or powder coated polished aluminum, which turns out surprisingly well. Downside is starting to get some rust over here on the back. The interior is, you know, okay. Smells like a Jaguar. Got a lot of extra parts over there. But the main questions I get, again, are this. So some of the stuff I obviously had to make myself, like this line. I repositioned the coolant bottled over here because normally it's over here. That's a Corvette style fuel filter and pressure regulator. Obviously I made these hoses. I'm going to have to remake them because I don't like these sketchy clamps on there. I had to modify the wiring harness a little bit. We got a 130 amp alternator in there. You can run air conditioning with these. I have currently removed mine because the compressor seized on it, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this car because I remember if I mentioned the second gear is starting to slip on here now that it's got the LQ9 in it. And then I have a whole bunch of wiring harness issues with my poor soldering and stuff like that. And the rust on the car. The suspension in the back is sagging because you can kind of see there's 3 fingers here. And then if you go over to the other side, you can barely fit 2 fingers in there. So it's sagging a little bit, which is why I got all that stuff in the back. Ideally, I would find another cheap but long wheelbase XJR. I did also figure out that you can use an AR5 manual transmission from a Pontiac Sky or a Saturn Solstice. So I have the kit to do a bell housing swap on one of those. I'd start it up for you guys, but can't do that. So if you want to hear it run, you got to watch my other videos. If you have any other questions on it, feel free to ask me in the comments and I'll answer them as best as I can.